What's going on, you guys? It's Mimi Martin here, and today I'm going to show you guys how to program in Python. So I've been programming now for 12 years since I was 10, so 22 now, at the time of, this video coming out. Mostly been doing it through Codecademy. And I honestly, in my opinion, think Python is probably one of the easiest languages to learn. I find usually when I talk to a lot of programmers, it tends to be one of the first ones they picked up. For me, it was my second. I actually first learned HTML and CSS. So, what you guys are going to want to do, you're going to want to go to python.org. You're going to go to their download. And, obviously because it's the Python official site, you don't have to worry about any viruses or anything like that. I can show you that. I've downloaded from Python myself 100 times. So, you're going to want to go to the latest version. Now, Python will automatically detect which OS, which operating system you're using. Obviously, for me, it's Windows. And then, you can see for Mac OS and for Linux and such. Let's see. So, I'm going to download it because actually, I don't think I have the latest version. So, you're going to want to do that. Just take a couple seconds here. Let's see now. So, now obviously I'm going to have all my sources in the description of the video, including the textbook that I'm going to be using. Actually, it's my old college textbook, if I can reach it. Let me see. There you are. Alright. Okay, so there's that. Now, before we actually load it up, there's one more thing we're going to want to do. We're going to want to go to this called Genie. And this just kind of helps run the program sort of thing. So you're gonna want to download this as well. Alright, let's see. Sorry, I'm just looking for it. Alright, we're gonna want the Windows one. Like I said, it's going to take a couple seconds. Alright. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to install. Yes. So while we wait on that, we'll also open up Genie. Okay, I agree. And you're gonna want all of this. I don't want the slash shortcut actually, but type in that. Yep. And as you can see here, both of them are very quick to download. Actually, I think Genie's gonna finish first. Yes, it is. Alright, so we'll run it for now. Now, Python has its own IDE, but the textbook that I use recommends you download Genie. Now, I will admit my textbook is a little outdated, but it's only outdated in terms of the version that you need. But it's basically, it's the same version of Python as of now, Python 3. Which, by the way, if you guys want to learn Python on a programming site, I actually don't recommend using Codecademy. There's other good sources that you could use. The reason for that is because now on Codecademy you can only learn Python 3 on their premium service, and you learn Python 2 in their basic, which is really kind of dumb. Let me see. Alright, we got the setup. Excuse me a second. Alright, I thought I had to sneeze. Okay. I don't want to disable that. Alright. So now we just need Python. Alright, let's see here. So now that we've gotten that, alright, so what we're going to be doing here is, let's minimize you, let's bring you up. Alright, so if you guys have learned any other language, or if it's your first one of the first things that you're gonna do when you learn a new language is something called the Hello World program. And it is very simple. So, in Python, in order for you to get the computer to quote unquote say something, all you have to do is just say print. We can even change this too, so we can say hello Python world. We execute it, and there we go. Hello Python world. What's interesting is that in the book I'm using it says to do build execute, but obviously now with the latest version of Genie you don't need to do that, you just hit execute. Let me see. That's how you configure for Linux. Cool. But if you guys want a shortcut key, you just do F5 for it. Alright. So, if you don't see that Hello Python world that we showed before, make sure that your characters on the line that you entered are correct. Never capitalize print, because that will give you an error. Make sure you have both of the quotation marks and the parentheses as well, because programming languages are very specific, so otherwise you'll get errors. Alright, let's see now. Okay. So now, let me just quickly show you guys how to configure Genie. So if you go to build and set build commands, then you'll get this box here. And this allows you to configure it in certain ways. So you'll see compile and execute commands here. So let's see. So there's compile, there's execute. So you start with Python in lowercase, but Genie doesn't know where your system stored the command, so we have to add the path. So what we're going to do is in both of these commands, let's see. Oh, it already did it for us. Well, it's not the C drive, but that's fine. So, yeah, you actually want this command line here. C drive Python 35. Actually, I wonder, can I do that? I believe so. Let us see. Nope, I want this one. 2. It'll probably give me an error, but that's fine. I can just change it later. Do that. Alrighty. So I would do that. Alright, I guess not. I guess it's fine. Alright. So yeah, make sure your spacing and your capitalization matches what I just had. Actually, wait, let me just confirm before I start getting errors. Oh, that's why you check. Okay. So alright, so now we should be able to execute it again. So let's try it. Nope. Okay, so that means that I should not have those. Alright. Well, then I'll just keep mine as a default. Maybe for you guys it'll work. There we go. Alright. So there's that. Alright. So if you're having some installation issues here, if you're having problems executing our Hello World program here, here's some things you could try. If you get a certain error, then Python will display what's called a traceback. What Python does is it goes through your file and it tries to report the problem. So the traceback could give you a clue as to what is preventing the program from running. So maybe if you're, still trying to figure it out and you still can't get it, that's okay. That happens to everybody. Just step away from the computer, take a little break, and then try again. Like I said, the syntax is very, very important when it comes to programming, especially with Python. So even the smallest little thing that you forgot, whether it's a missing colon or you started out with a double quote and then you ended off with a single quotation mark, or you mismatch your parentheses, can keep the program from running. So just make sure to reread all of your lines carefully and see if you can find the mistake. And maybe you just need to start over again. Trust me, I know plenty of programmers where they got knee deep into their program, it wasn't working, they read through their code 10, 15, 20 times, they still couldn't figure out what was wrong. So they just restarted from scratch, and eventually they figured out what was wrong. You most likely don't have to uninstall anything, but it would make sense to delete the Hello World file and then to make it again. And maybe if all of that doesn't work, maybe you just need a fresh set of eyes, have someone else come in, look over what you did and see, and they'll watch you as well, so they can tell you what it was you did right, what you did wrong. That way you can learn from it. And, if you don't have anybody online, or, at home, who knows it, that's fine. There's plenty of people online, such as myself. As well as, a bunch of forums and such. I believe actually in the Python .org site, there's probably a Q&A or a forum of some sort where you can post your code and people... Because, trust me, if there's one thing that, programmers love to do, aside from making code, it's helping other people with their code. So, that's always good. So you never have to worry about bothering any experienced programmers. Because we've all been stuck at some point, and a lot of us are more than happy to help in terms of you learning how to do the program, because one thing that we never want is for someone to get so frustrated with a language that they give up on it and never try to pick it up again. As long as you just clearly state what it is you're trying to do and what you've already done to try to get the expected result, then they can help you with it. And as I've said, Python and the Python community is very beginner friendly. So now I'm sure you're probably wondering, okay, how exactly do I run my Python program from a terminal? And I don't have a Linux or Mac OS on my computer here. I only have Windows, but I will tell you guys. So you're gonna want to do something like this. So you're gonna want to say cd desktop / python _work / so that should give you the first part, ls, which will give you the hello world py, and then you run python hello world py, and it will give it to you. So the cd command navigates to your Python work folder, which we saved to desktop. I did not, of course. And then the ls command makes sure that the hello world file is in the folder. And now that it's found it in the folder, we can run the command through the terminal. So let's see. Let me actually look through my file path so that I can do mine correctly. And there goes my dog. Ah, it's in my program file. I don't want it in my program file. That explains a lot. Let's see here. Alright, so let me save that. Okay, so now, if I were to run command prompt, what I have to do for Windows. Alright, so we have to run cd, which is of course the change directory command. So we gotta do desktop, Python work, or not. Why is that not working now? Oh, I see why. I didn't actually make the Python work folder. There we go. That's why I always gotta double check. Okay, now let's try it. Alright, so cd desktop Python work. No. Is it because it's users? No, that shouldn't be the problem. Okay, well, I am not able to run it right now, but normally what you do is you would do the change directory command to navigate to the Python work folder, which they have in desktop, then using the directory command, which is dir, to make sure that it's in the folder, and then run it. That's why, because I didn't configure it after. Perhaps by doing that now, that works. So, let's try this. Let me go back here. Where are you, my dear? It's because he's using the wrong slash, isn't it? me see. Here, let me go on to the path file. Oh, let's try it. Let's see if this works. Let's see now. If this doesn't work, then oh well. I'll just do one last thing and then we will call it for today's lesson. I think that's a good way to start. Alright, let's try this now. So if I execute... Nope. Okay. Well, then we'll just move on to the next thing. Alright. So, to end off today's video, I've got a little try it yourself for you guys. So what I want you guys to do, from what we learned today in terms of installing it and just running the Hello World, I want you to explore the Python homepage and find whatever topic that interests you. Because trust me, as you become more familiar with Python, there are going to be different parts that'll be more useful. And then, I want you to go into the Hello World file that we made, and just make some typos here and there. Try to make one that'll generate an error, and see if you can make sense of what the error message is telling you. And then try to make one that doesn't generate an error, and tell me in the comments why you think that it didn't make an error. And then I have one final question for you guys that I want you guys to answer in the comments. If you had infinite programming skills, what would you build? Since, you're joining me here and learning how to program, I want you to have an end goal in mind. Because when you do, you'll have an immediate use of your new skills. So now is the perfect time to draft descriptions of what you want to create. So one other thing to do that if I could suggest, keep an ideas notebook so that you can refer to whenever you're going to want to start on a new project. So in the comments, I want you to take a couple minutes to describe 3 programs that you'd like to create. And with that, you guys, I think that is it for me. This was a very nice way to start off this lesson, if I do say so myself. I hope you guys enjoyed. And with that, I will see you all next time.